Yes, Mr. Slocum.
There's just like so many things that I wish I had told her.
Me too.
Did anyone leave a message for me today? The Slocums?
Nope, not today.
I think they're avoiding me.
That's no way! Okay.
Where is she?
Listen.
She is not dead. I went to her grave. There's a hole in the ground.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
She's resurrected.
Resurrection!
She's resurrected.
Okay, and that's better. Why? Why is that better?
It's from the Old Testament.
Why is all my stuff in boxes now?
Beth, you're so beautiful. I'm so happy you're back. You don't want to eat me, do you?
Not right now.
No, I mean like really eat me.
Not with my parents around.
Okay. It's not fun. It's weird. End of kiss, guys.
What's going on?
I wrote this for you.
This sucks.
Well, if you could just listen to your heart.
Zach, what's happening to me?
You ate a guy.
Oh, what do you want from me, Zach? I'm a zombie. Zombies eat guys.
So sorry about Beth.
I just like kind of wish she'd stay dead.
I want to eat.
Okay, fine. What do you want to eat?
I don't know. What do you want to eat?
What, you think you even want to eat food?
What the hell am I supposed to do? I'm falling so in love with you.
Where are you going? Maybe we can go for a hike or something.
I gotta go.
No, stop.
Are you out of your mind? Look at her, Zach.
And let's go ahead and please welcome to the stage our moderator today, Christopher Rosen from Huffington Post, and our guest director, Jeff Baena, Aubrey Plaza, and Dane DeHaan.
Hello. So it's just me? No.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
We go way back to the green room, actually. So that was fun. I know you guys, Dane, you were just tweeting about this actual event moments ago.
I was just tweeting about this.
And I know you guys were on, I was reading your Twitter, Aubrey, and you guys were on Good Morning America, and it looked like you ate Vin Diesel, apparently, and Emeril Lagasse.
I have eaten a lot of people in the past 2 days.
Yeah, who is the most delicious of the people you've eaten?
Well, today I ate the entire cast of The View, and there were a lot of different flavors and textures.
Was there a particular one that you found most appealing?
I mean, Whoopi was my favorite.
Okay, that's good. And Dane, I noticed you like tweeting with uppercase and lowercase letters, like kind of like a vintage MySpace type thing.
Yeah, I do. Well, all I really do is I press the thing that makes it uppercase
Caps
and
lock.
the letter. What's it called?
Caps lock.
No, not the caps lock though. The shift.
Shift.
The shift. And I just do those and I see how it turns out.
It looks good. I mean, you guys both do really well on social media. I think that's a lot of fun. So, do you guys have an emoji preference at all?
Emojis?
Yeah.
Well, I've been using I've been using some for this film. I've been using the ghost that has its tongue sticking out because I feel like that's very Life After Beth appropriate.
Right. That's good.
I enjoy the tiny violin.
Okay.
I like the lightning bolt.
I like the dancing lady because I really feel like that's just like a don't care kind of thing. You know, she's really excited. So Jeff, I know you wrote this script 10 years ago, I believe, right? And
11.
11 now.
Yeah.
So that's a long time. And where was it? I guess kind of just physically, did you have it on your on your desktop?
It was in my computer.
On your computer.
It's a digital file, so I just kept it in my file.
And how often would you go back and look at it? Were you always kind of revise?
Yeah,
Never.
Never. I completely walked away from it for about 10 years and never even thought about it.
So why did you come back to it?
Because Aubrey's agent was going over projects with her, and he represented Joseph Gordon-Levitt at the time, and I guess he still does. And Joseph wanted to be in the movie when I first was trying to get it going back in 2003. And he mentioned it to Aubrey, And Aubrey mentioned it to me, and it just kind of clicked. I never really put that together, and it was, of course, a perfect fit. So
it was a script that a lot of people had told me about, that they had read, different people in the world, and so I was kind of curious because people were like, "Have you ever read that script Jeff wrote a long time ago? It's really good." And then I read it, and it was really good. And there's no reason for it to not be a real movie.
Right, and it is a real movie now, and you guys are all in it.
What is real, though?
So did you have to like go? I feel like zombie kind of like. Well, is it like? Would you say it's even? Would you even call it a zombie movie? I guess I don't want to like put genres on your project here.
No, I'd call it. I mean, I know what Dane would call it, but I would call it probably more of a relationship film.
Right.
We would call it a rom-com,
Drom-com.
I would call it a rom-com.
A romedy-com-zom-trom.
Yeah, because it's more of a, it's less of a zom-com rom-drom and more of a rom-com zom-drom.
It's less of a com-drom, more of a zom.
It's kind of like a rom-drom, zom-com.
Drom.
So if you guys want to start a new Twitter trend, it would be rom-zom-com-drom and not com-zom-rom.
Hashtag rom-com-zom-drom.
Yeah.
So the zom-drom rom-drom. Did it wrong?
Zom-com rom-drom.
Rom-com zom-drom.
Rom-zom-com-drom.
Right. So did you have to? I feel like zombie movies have had a explosion in the last decade since probably you wrote it, right? I mean, Walking Dead is not a movie, but it's a huge hit, and World War Z was a monsters hit. Did you like? Was there anything when you picked it back up? Did you like go back in and try to like, did you make a lot of revisions? I mean, like, how did it all work? Or was it kind of like exactly what you did 10 years ago or 11 years ago?
It's pretty close. I didn't want to let all the other movies that came out influence it. I mean, because since I wrote that, Shaun of the Dead came out, Zombieland, there's a bunch of movies that came out. And I figured I'd leave it sort of pure the way, there's not too much overlap with those movies other than people become zombies, which obviously you can't avoid. But the only thing I really changed was there was references to George W. Bush at the time, which were no longer appropriate, so I had to take those guys out. And that was pretty much it, yeah.
Right. And then when you first read it, what did you think, Aubrey? About the script. Yeah, what did you think?
When I first read it, I just really loved the script. It's a really funny script. The dialogue is really funny, and I thought all of the dynamics between all of the different characters was really... it just felt really real, and it felt like how it was just a really funny take on how those families would react to their daughter coming back from the dead. It just felt like it was dealt in the right way, and I think that could be kind of a cheesy or bad movie, but the way it was written was just so perfect. So I was like totally into it.
And then what made you guys pick Dane for the lead role? Because I feel like, you were like in every scene, maybe except for like the first second, really. So it is kind of like your character's story of almost, like you were saying, it's a relationship film. It's kind of like getting over a relationship, kind of. So I mean, like Dane's really great. Like, what did you guys see in him?
Well, Dane's an incredible actor, and if you've seen his work, he's amazing. If you saw, I saw The Place Beyond the Pines and Chronicle, and he stole The Place Beyond the Pines, and he's amazing in Chronicle. And I actually met him at my house at one of my poker games, and I've always thought he was amazing. And for me, when I was coming up with this movie, I realized there's gonna be a lot of funnier parts in it, but at the same time, it has to be grounded, and the emotions have to feel real, and you have to sort of track his psychological trajectory. And in order to pull it off, I feel like you need someone who has more dramatic capability. And I mean, Dane is one of the most amazing actors out there, and for his age, he's pretty much the best. So, yeah, it was like a no-brainer.
Yeah. And who won the poker game that you had?
That night?
Dane, did you win?
Dane didn't win that night.
No, I lost all my money.
Are you good at poker then?
Well, yeah.
Show me your poker face.
We did play poker again together right before a night shoot for this, and I came out on top that night.
He did good that night. Yeah, I mean, it's poker's there's skill and there's also luck involved. So, yeah.
And you guys have a lot of like physical scenes together, you and Aubrey. I know you lick his face, I believe, at one point, if I remember correctly. Yes. So how many how many takes did it take to have a perfect lick of your face? I guess.
How many takes?
Yeah. How many takes do you do of that? Aubrey
I don't
licks his face at one
remember.
point.
Oh.
It's really kind of
Well, the scene where
intense.
I'm attacking him in the attic, when I'm like licking his face and molesting him, we really didn't do many takes because we shot that on a really crazy day where
Yeah, it
we
was
had
2
no
takes, I think.
time. So we just had to kind of go for it.
We had 20 minutes to shoot that scene.
I know Dane was really upset about because he kept being like, "Can we do another one?" Because he is a pervert.
Any comment to that, Dane?
No, I think that pretty much sums
Yeah.
it up.
You mentioned you only had 20 minutes. I mean, kind of like a lower budget film like this. I mean, was there a steep learning curve for you as this is your first feature and stuff like that you did not expect, I guess, or anything like that?
No, I think we were pretty much prepared for it. I mean, we didn't have a lot of time, so we had to be, we had to have shot lists and we had to know what we were doing, and we talked to the actors as much as we could. We didn't really have a lot of time for rehearsals, so we would just rehearse it before we would shoot it. But everyone's so good that of course, if we had more time, it would be amazing, but we didn't have that opportunity, so at least we had great actors and great crew people to be able to pull it off in the short time that we had.
Yeah, the cast is really incredible. I mean, obviously, Dane and Aubrey, and also you have like Paul Reiser, who I just love seeing in things. I think that's always fun, and Cheryl Hines and stuff. It's really good. Aubrey, do you have a key to playing a zombie, I guess? Or was there something that you were trying to, like, did you actually, I mean, not like you're going to go method, but are you, like, researching, like, zombie movies and stuff?
I would consider myself a method actor,
Okay.
and I killed myself and then dug myself out of my grave.
Right.
And I don't know. A lot of the zombie stuff was a little bit up for interpretation. When I thought about how I was going to play it, I kind of thought like I should watch 1 million zombie movies and get into that mode. But then I also thought maybe I shouldn't watch 1 million zombie movies because zombies aren't real. So every movie about a zombie is just someone's idea of what they think a zombie is. So I was like, I should just come up with my own thing and use the script and collaborate with Jeff. And so I just kind of like wung it. Is that a phrase?
Winged it?
Wang it.
Wanged it?
Rom-drom?
She wang it.
Zomrom?
I wanged it.
Wanged it.
It's rom-zom,
I wung
com-drom.
it.
Rom-zoms. I'll get that someday.
I winged it.
Winged it.
I just showed up and like did weird things. And I also have a history of like having a kind of fascination with demonic energies. And so I have this demon voice and stuff like that kind of in my back pocket.
The demon voice is pretty great, I have to say, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I won't make you do it for people. They could watch the movie and see it for themselves. It's really good. Do you have, like, you mentioned before about the relationship aspect of it. I think it's really, that's kind of like the key to the film. It's kind of like about someone getting over, like, a relationship, let's say, like that kind of thing. I mean, what kind of message are you hoping people take away from it? Not that it's a message film, but what are you hoping people take away from it, like, when they're watching it? What was in your mind, at least?
I guess to just sort of appreciate things as they are and not try to hang on to things too hard, because they'll destroy you.
Right. Yeah. Do you guys have? Let's take a look here. What was the most? You mentioned you had such a short amount of time. Did you have a most difficult day on set? I guess. Was there anything that you would all? If I asked you guys all that same question, would you all have the same answer? Most difficult day that you had production-wise. Dane, go ahead.
Well, at one point I was up for 48 hours straight while shooting this movie because we did a night shoot, and then I got in a car and went to Comic-Con, and then after Comic-Con, went back in an airplane back to LA and did another night shoot. So by the end of that, I was up for 48 hours straight, and I think really close to the amount of time you have to be awake to be like legally insane. So that's what sticks out to me as the most difficult days.
What part was that you were shooting in this?
That was it was the scene where I knock on the attic and get her to come out to go to the beach, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's manic. You look very manic, then that's good. That works. Yeah. Do you have like
yeah,
one?
I was insane.
Yeah.
The only difficult stuff for me came along with the stunts and stuff like that. Like when I had to have an oven strapped to my back. I injured myself the first time I tried to carry it in the kitchen, and that was difficult. And then just carrying an oven up a mountain was difficult.
And not to spoil the movie magic, but what was the oven then? Is it like a hollowed out oven? Like it was an actual oven?
Yeah, it was like a hollowed out part of a real oven, most of a prop oven, and then there was CGI effects involved just to round it out, I guess.
Right.
But it was pretty heavy, and after I tried to lift it the first time, the prop guys like created a harness for it so that it was like more equally balanced on my back, and it acted kind of like a backpack kind of thing. Yeah.
I like when you fall over. That's in the trailer, obviously.
Yeah,
was
I
fun.
did that stunt myself too.
Oh, nice. That's good.
So,
How many times did you have to do that?
Just one.
Just once. Nailed
yeah,
it.
my
First
leg
shot.
popped off like in the best possible
he's talking
way.
about when you fall. It's actually, yeah.
I would imagine you get like maybe like a lot of scripts where they're like asking you to kind of like repeat the same stuff you've done on like Parks and Rec and stuff, right? But like you do a movie like this. I saw about Alex at Tribeca. It's another kind of like you really do a great job of like varying your characters and roles. I mean, is that something that you have to like constantly work on, or are people like finally being like, Aubrey could do all these other great different things that maybe we should have thought about her for before, I guess?
What do you mean? Like something I constantly work on?
No,
in
I'm like
terms of,
your like projects and stuff that you pick, I guess. Like, because I feel like you could like maybe be, because you're so successful on Parks and Rec as April, like that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's being on a TV show. I think always, especially one that's lasted for so long. It's like people just can't help but associate you with that character, and it's always a little bit of a challenge to get people to see you in a different role. You know, I think a lot of actors have that thing going on, but for me, it's like there was a moment when it was really frustrating because I felt like, you know, I can do more than like roll my eyes and just say weird things, but I kind of like it. It's a challenge for me to. It kind of challenges me in a good way, and I'm really interested in doing all kinds of different characters, and it's only that much more rewarding, I think, for me and maybe for other people when they see me do something that surprises them. So it's fun, I guess, to try to spread my wings and fly.
Aw, that's nice. Do you have like, when you were like, obviously you didn't write it for Aubrey, but I mean, like, was it like a no-brainer that you would want her for it and stuff? Like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the way it came about was she brought it to my attention, and
Right.
it made absolute sense. I really don't know anyone else that can pull off the range that the character goes through, you know, from sweet and innocent to flesh-eating, like on a gradient. So, yeah, I mean, it's a perfect match. But yeah, I didn't write it for her. I wrote it. I generally don't write it for actors. I just write characters. But I mean, it was probably pretty ambitious at the time when I wrote it to dump on somebody, and I don't think is anyone else that could do it. So.
Was it always going to be something that you wanted to direct yourself?
Yeah, it's the only script I've ever written as a spec script,
Okay.
not just like a studio thing.
Yeah, and what kind of like visual inspiration do you have for it? Because I think it's like got a nice, you know, kind of like it's got a nice look and stuff. I guess like, you know, what were you looking for to like try to like, not that you're like aping something, but you know, like what was?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. There was a couple of references. 3 Women by Robert Altman, which is so, I guess, oblique. But yeah, I mean, mainly we wanted to have all the light look like it was practical, so it looked like it was, you know, kind of more natural. One of the things that we did was we shot it with an Area Alexa, which is a really amazing camera with great latitude, and it pretty much can capture anything, even in almost low light. But the downside is everything looks a little bit plastic because it looks too good. So we kind of had to dumb it down a little bit and add some grain. So we wanted to look a little bit grittier. And you know, I think kind of having like a low contrast look, which is sort of counter to what you usually see in zombie movies, is usually like high contrast and kind of washed out. We just wanted to kind of feel a little bit more naturalistic and, you know, less heightened.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think now it's time to go to the audience Q&A portion of this event. So, if we have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay.
Maybe not all at one time, so we can focus.
While we're doing that, Dane mentioned Comic-Con, which I assume you were there for the Metallica movie last year. Is that what it was?
Last year I was there for, Spider-Man
And Metallica, right? So if you guys had that was this past weekend was Comic-Con. If you guys had a cosplay at Comic-Con, who would you dress up as?
Ooh, gosh.
You don't have to say Spider-Man.
I don't know. Maybe like maybe a troll doll.
Okay. Troll doll with the hair and stuff.
Yeah, and the gem on my belly button.
And what color would your hair be?
You'll just have to wait and find out.
Okay, next Comic-Con, next year. Aubrey, would you do cosplay at Comic-Con? That's when you dress up as somebody. Right?
I would dress up like, I don't know, like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Relevant, because that movie is coming out also this summer,
Yeah.
so that's good.
I'm really trying to promote that movie just for my personal.
After all this, you're going to go back out on The View and GMA
Yeah, I think you guys
and promote.
should see it. It's really good. It honors the original thing, and then everyone's great in it.
Right. Who would you dress up as?
I don't know, like Doctor Strange or something.
Oh, nice. That's good. They're doing a Doctor Strange movie, too.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good. So you can throw your hat in the ring for that as well.
Yeah.
That's fun. All right. Questions?
Aubrey, I know you have a UCB background. Did you do any improv in the movie at all? Or is it all in the script?
It was really mostly the script. The script was so funny that a lot of the actors, I can speak for them, like we really wanted to say the lines because we just like loved the lines. But there were like a couple times when we would improvise like a little bit. We didn't have that much time, so we didn't have the luxury to like, like on Parks and Rec, it's like we'll do like so many different takes and we'll just be like fucking around, but like we didn't have that much time. But, and then there was Jeff would like he would take some scenes and say like things like, maybe you guys all say these things at the same time, like how people talk in real life. And so there was room for, improv-like things. And there were a couple lines that were thrown in there. Like John improvised some stuff that made it in, like when he says like, I'm not a herpetologist, which you haven't seen the movie, so I don't know why
I know the ending.
just said that.
Well, they could have. It's on DirecTV
It's
right now.
hilarious.
So, right? Like, people can actually see it right now.
So, kind of.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There we go, in the back. You gotta wait for the mic. There we go.
Hey guys, speaking of zombie movies, if there was a zombie apocalypse and you guys were being chased by zombies and the only way to save your life, or one of you had to sacrifice one of you three, so who would it be?
I would kill Dane.
I'd kill Dane.
Sorry, Dane.
That's okay.
Who would you kill?
I'd just take one for the team, I guess.
Nice.
Good answer. Any other questions from the audience? There we go. Over here we have one.
Hello. Jeff, could you talk a little bit about how you got involved with I Heart Huckabees and your relationship with David O. Russell and what that was like?
Yeah. When I first moved to LA after graduating film school, I started working with Robert Zemeckis, and I worked on What Lies Beneath and Castaway. And once he had finished those movies, he kind of wanted to take a couple years off because he did them back to back to back. He did Castaway the first half, and then did What Lies Beneath, and then Castaway the second half, all in a row. And so I was looking for a job, and David was looking for an assistant editor. So I came on as assistant editor for this online documentary he was working on, which never actually got completed. But in that process, he and I were, it started off with, hey, you need this, maybe we'd move this around, or this scene could use this, and eventually he had me writing some stuff for it, and then we definitely clicked. And so, he was batting around that idea for the existential detective kind of thing, and we talked about it, and he and I just ended up working on that, and I think 3 or 4 other scripts. So we wrote a bunch of scripts, I guess, in a period of like 3 or 4 years. And, he pretty much like mentored me with directing and writing, and so he taught me the ropes, I guess.
Do you feel like I Heart Huckabees is kind of like, I feel like that movie has had like kind of a renaissance as he's, done a lot of things. Do you feel like that was like maybe not unfairly maligned, but I mean like when it first came out, maybe misunderstood or whatever?
No, I mean, I think when you do something like that, you have a good chance of pissing a lot of people off. And I mean, it's one of those movies where it's really polarizing. So some people love it, some people hate it. Yeah, I mean, I really don't think about it that much. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I understand why people hate it. I understand why people love it. I don't know. I've never really met anyone that's like, yeah, it was okay. So I guess that's okay.
You get a reaction that's good. That's what you want to do, yeah. Any other questions? We got one over here.
In terms of Parks and Rec for next season, Aubrey, could you ever imagine yourself playing a mom? Is that gonna happen?
Totally. I've been like pushing them to give me a child like for the past 3 seasons. Like the minute we got married, I was like, babies, 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 babies. Just because I think it'd be funny for Andy and April to like just to watch them parent. But I lost that battle, and Leslie and Ben won that one like big time. They have triplets, so that's cool. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen next season. But I've still said like, maybe we adopt, or I don't know. But
steal a kid, maybe.
Or steal a kid, or anything. Yeah, anything to get my hands on another human life would be great.
Leslie and Ben have 3, so they should just give you one.
I know.
Like
Chris,
they don't need 3.
Chris and I are like, I wonder if we're just gonna be like babysitting those kids for the entire season.
Fingers crossed. That looked like
Maybe.
it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
One more question. This lovely lady right over here.
Hey there. So I have a question. How do you feel about Chris Pratt being like this big, bulky superhero now? Is that weird?
It's totally fine with me. I think he looks great, and I just, hope he doesn't show up on set like, acting like a total like asshole now. But I don't think he will, because he's the best guy ever. So the fact that he has like rock hard abs or whatever is just like, I guess, a bonus. But I'm not into that kind of thing. So.
All right, well, listen, thank you guys so much for doing this. The movie's great, Life After Beth. You could watch it now on DirecTV, and it comes out, I believe, this weekend or next weekend?
August 15th.
August 15th. So wrong both counts, but August 15th
but it's
comes
on
out in theaters.
DirecTV.
And it's on DirecTV
Oh, yeah, it's on
right
DirecTV now.
Right now.
So watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. It's great. And thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.